The morning light over the planet Vesperia was soft and pale, spreading across quiet forests and tall crystal trees that caught the sun and shone like frozen rainbows. The wind moved gently, carrying the faint hum of distant energy fields that made Vesperia feel alive. On most days, the sky was calm and bright. But today, something unusual crossed the air. High above the clouds, an albino dragon named Cerinthia glided with peaceful grace. Her scales were white like new snow, glowing softly as if small stars lived under her skin. Her wings were wide and smooth, shining faintly in the sunlight. Cerinthia was known among her kind for her unusual color, her deep curiosity, and her gentle personality. She loved to fly alone in the early hours. Flying helped her think clearly, and the wide open sky felt like a place where she could dream without limits. She always believed that the sky was the safest place for her. It had never failed her. But that morning, the sky changed. A strange ripple formed above the cloud line, an unexpected gravitational wave that moved like a quiet pulse through the air. Cerinthia did not sense it at first. She continued flying, enjoying the cool breeze and the warm light. Then the wave reached her. It did not strike her with force, nor did it throw her from the sky. Instead, it gently twisted the air around her wings, creating strange pressure that interrupted her balance. Cerinthia tried to correct her flight, expecting the wave to pass quickly. Dragons were strong flyers, and Cerinthia believed she could stabilize herself with ease. But the ripple did not stop. It continued in small pulses, enough to disrupt her wing movements each time she tried to adjust. Her body tilted slightly. She flapped her wings to steady herself, but the pressure around her was uneven and confusing. For the first time in many years, Cerinthia felt unsure. She tried again, focusing her strength, pushing her wings downward with careful control. The next pulse arrived at the wrong moment, and her left wing bent too sharply. A small pain moved through it, not sharp, not dangerous, but enough to make her wince. She angled downward to land before anything else happened. Her landing attempts were usually graceful, soft as a falling feather. But today, the strange sky did not allow grace. The pressure around her wings made each movement harder to predict. She lowered herself slowly, but the ripples continued to shift the air. Her wings brushed the tops of the tallest crystal trees. She spread them wider, hoping to glide. Instead, her wings caught on a branch coated in crystal dust. She twisted her body to avoid damaging the fragile tree, but the movement caused her left wing to fold awkwardly. She fell, but not fast. The trees softened her descent, each one slowing her drop, until she finally reached the forest floor with a gentle thud. It was not painful, only surprising. Her wing felt sore and tired, and she knew she could not fly again until she rested. Cerinthia lay still for a moment, listening to her surroundings. The forest was calm, peaceful, even welcoming. The crystal leaves above her reflected soft light, painting the ground in shifting colors. Birds with glowing feathers moved quietly between the branches. Everything looked safe. She breathed slowly, letting her body relax, but she was not alone. Not too far away, a human named Commander Elias Harrow was surveying the terrain. He worked for a peaceful exploration group that traveled to planets to study their cultures and landscapes. Elias was known for his patient nature, gentle voice, and thoughtful decisions. He preferred quiet worlds like Vesperia, where he could walk in calm forests and learn about strange wildlife. His scanner beeped softly, detecting a large energy signature. The reading surprised him. It was strong and steady. And unlike the machines or natural fields he usually measured, he raised his scanner again to confirm. The energy was familiar. He had seen records of it before. A dragon, he whispered to himself. His team had told him dragons lived on Vesperia, but they were rare and often kept their distance from humans. Dragons were intelligent, wise, and peaceful, unless disturbed. Elias had always wanted to see one, not as a threat, but as a living wonder. He followed the signal carefully, walking slowly between glowing tree trunks. Each step carried a mix of curiosity and respect. He kept his hands open at his sides to show he meant no harm, even though no one was watching him yet. When he reached a small clearing, he stopped in awe. There, resting against a crystal tree, was Cerinthia. Her white scales shimmered beautifully under the scattered light. She looked like a creature from a dream, gentle and extraordinary. Her wings were tucked against her body, though Elias noticed one wing looked slightly strained. Cerinthia sensed him before she saw him. Dragons had sharp senses, and even in her tired state she recognized the presence of someone approaching. She lifted her head but did not move more than that. Her eyes were soft and calm, though cautious. Elias felt his heartbeat rise with excitement. He had never stood this close to a dragon before. But he reminded himself to stay focused. The dragon was resting, maybe needing help. He spoke softly so his voice would sound warm and friendly. "Hello," Elias said. "I'm not here to trouble you." Cerinthia tilted her head slightly. She recognized the human language. Dragons learned languages easily, especially common communication forms used across galaxies. She studied Elias carefully. He held no weapons. His posture was open. His voice carried no fear, only kindness. She relaxed a little. Elias stepped closer but stopped a safe distance away. "It looks like you had a rough landing," he said gently. "If you allow me, I can help you. I'm trained in field medicine." Cerinthia blinked slowly. She did not usually trust other species when injured. Dragons valued independence and strength, and accepting help felt unfamiliar. But she did not sense any danger from this human. His eyes held honest concern, not ambition or arrogance. She gave a small nod. Elias smiled softly, relieved. He moved closer, keeping his gestures slow so she would not feel startled. When he reached her side, he examined her left wing carefully. The wing was not broken, only strained, tired, and slightly misaligned from her rough landing. It needed support and rest. "I can stabilize it," he said. "It will help you relax while the wing heals." Cerinthia listened calmly. She appreciated his clear explanation. His presence felt gentle, almost soothing. Most humans she had seen from a distance moved quickly, spoke loudly, and carried tools that made noise. But Elias was different. He treated the forest with respect and approached her with quiet care. He opened his supply kit and removed a soft biomech support strap. It was made to adjust around different shapes, and it could help hold the wing in a natural position. Before touching her, Elias looked up to make sure she accepted his help. Cerinthia nodded again. He worked with steady hands, wrapping the support around the base of her wing. The device responded to her body temperature, shaping itself comfortably around her scales. She felt relief almost immediately. The tension in her wing eased, and the gentle pressure helped her muscles relax. "You're going to be fine," Elias said kindly. "You just need time to rest." Cerinthia lowered her head in a small gesture of appreciation. She wanted to speak, but dragons saved their words for moments that mattered. Instead, she gave him a slow blink, a simple sign of trust in her culture. Elias understood. He smiled again. He sat near her but kept a respectful distance, giving her space while making sure she stayed comfortable. The forest felt peaceful around them, as if accepting this unusual meeting with quiet approval. The human and the dragon stayed like that for some time, two beings from different worlds sharing a calm moment in a crystal forest. Neither expected their paths to cross. Neither expected the other to show kindness. But something gentle had begun between them, something meaningful, something rare, and neither of them knew that this meeting would shape the future of Vesperia in ways no one could imagine. The forest around Cerinthia and Elias grew calmer with each passing hour. Soft beams of light filtered through crystal branches, creating shimmering patterns on the ground. The quiet comfort of Vesperia helped both of them feel at ease, though neither forgot how unusual this moment truly was. A human and a dragon, resting in peaceful company. Cerinthia lay carefully on her side, her injured wing supported by the soft biomech strap Elias had placed earlier. She felt steady now, the ache in her wing slowly fading. The pain was not gone, but it was gentle enough for her to breathe without worry. Elias sat nearby on a smooth stone covered in moss that glowed faintly. He kept a respectful distance, but he stayed close enough to help if she needed anything. His small camp device projected a warm sphere of harmless light around them, giving the clearing a cozy atmosphere. Neither spoke for a while. They simply shared the silence of the forest, listening to the soft rustle of leaves and the distant call of peaceful creatures. At last, Cerinthia lifted her head slightly. "You helped me without asking for anything," she said quietly. Her voice sounded like soft wind moving through hollow crystal, gentle and calming. Elias smiled at the sound. He had not expected her to speak so soon. "I don't need anything," he replied kindly. "Helping someone in need is enough." Cerinthia studied him with thoughtful eyes. Dragons rarely needed help. And even when they did, they often avoided accepting it. But Elias had stepped forward without hesitation, without fear or pride. It was rare, and she felt the sincerity behind his words. "You risked approaching me," she said. "Most would stay far away." Elias laughed lightly. "I suppose I'm not very good at running away." Cerinthia blinked slowly, her way of showing amusement. She appreciated his gentle humor. Elias adjusted the strap on her wing just a little to make sure it stayed comfortable. "The more your muscles relax, the faster your wing will heal," he explained. "Dragons heal quicker than humans, but rest still matters." Cerinthia listened with interest. Humans had strange tools and strange knowledge, but Elias used his knowledge with care. She respected that. "How long will it take?" she asked. "Maybe a few days for the pain to fade," he said thoughtfully. "You will be able to fly soon after if you don't strain it again." Cerinthia sighed softly, relieved. Flying was not just movement for dragons. It was freedom, peace, and identity. Knowing she would return to the sky soon eased her heart. Elias opened a small container from his pack. "This is a simple nutrient gel," he said. "It helps with energy. It's safe for most species, but only if you want to try it." Cerinthia leaned forward, sniffed gently, then nodded. "Thank you." She touched the gel lightly with the tip of her tongue. It tasted simple, a little sweet, like dew mixed with soft fruit. Her body felt a warm, steady glow as the nutrients took effect. "You care for others as if it is natural," she observed. "It is natural," Elias answered. "Humans survived for many years by helping each other. Even across planets, we carry that same thought with us." Cerinthia found that interesting. She had always seen humans as quick-moving, curious beings, but she had never thought deeply about their culture. Perhaps she had judged too simply. In return, she decided to offer him something. "You healed me," she said gently. "So I will tell you something about my kind. Dragons do not fly only with wings. We use the ley wind's invisible streams of energy that flow across the sky. They lift us, guide us, and help us stay balanced." Elias listened closely, fascinated. "I never knew that. Our scanners detect some energy currents, but we didn't understand their purpose." "The ley winds are part of Vesperia," Cerinthia continued. "We learn to sense them when we are young. That is why the strange ripple today confused me. It was not part of the natural flow." Elias nodded slowly. "Yes. I also felt something off this morning. My scanner registered an unusual fluctuation, but I couldn't identify it. It felt gentle but wrong," Cerinthia said. "Like a soft hand pushing the wrong direction." They both grew quiet, thinking about the strange ripple. Neither of them knew its cause yet, but both sensed it was important. After a long moment, Elias changed the subject gently. "Would you like water?" He held up a container. Cerinthia's eyes warmed. "You think of everything, Humyn." He laughed softly. "It's part of the job." She lowered her head as he poured fresh, clear water into a shallow crystal bowl that had formed naturally in the stone. Cerinthia drank slowly, careful not to strain her neck or wing. When she finished, she looked at Elias with a thoughtful expression. "Why did you come to this planet?" she asked. Elias leaned back slightly, gazing at the glowing trees. "I came to study peaceful worlds. My team is exploring planets that show harmony between life and environment. Vesperia is special, calm, beautiful, and rich with creatures we want to understand respectfully. Cerinthia considered his words. You seek knowledge, not control. That's right, he said. This mission is about learning and building trust. Dragons respected trust more than anything. It was the heart of their culture. Hearing a human speak of trust with such honesty made Cerinthia feel a gentle warmth inside. Then you are different from many travelers, she said. Elias shrugged lightly. Maybe. But I think peace grows fastest when people choose understanding over fear. Cerinthia folded her uninjured wing neatly against her side, settling more comfortably. She watched Elias with quiet admiration. His gentle presence reminded her of the calm sky before dawn, soft, steady, and honest. You are unusual for a human, she said gently. He smiled shyly. I'll take that as a compliment. The afternoon passed with surprising ease. Elias shared stories about his travels, floating gardens on distant planets, small friendly creatures that glowed like lanterns, peaceful settlements built around waterfalls that never froze. His voice was soft, and his stories were warm and hopeful. Cerinthia listened closely. She had traveled across Vesperia many times but had never left her home. Hearing about distant stars made her heart grow curious. In return, she shared knowledge about dragon traditions, how young dragons practiced gliding at sunrise, how they communicated through soft hums, how they celebrated the first flight of each new generation. Elias listened with fascination, his eyes bright with interest. You are a teacher, he said. You are a good listener, she replied. As the sun dipped toward the horizon, the sky changed colors. Gold, lavender, and soft blue mixing together in gentle waves. The forest grew quiet again. Ready for evening, Elias prepared a small, warm light near Cerinthia so she would not feel alone when darkness arrived. He checked her wing once more, making sure the support strap stayed comfortable. It will heal well, he assured her. I trust you, Cerinthia said softly. The words surprised him. Trust from a dragon was rare, deeply meaningful. Thank you, he said sincerely. That means a lot. Cerinthia lowered her head to rest again, but her eyes stayed open for a moment as she watched the human who had helped her. She felt no fear, no uncertainty, only calm respect. Elias leaned against a tree, preparing to keep watch for the night. I'll stay nearby, he told her. If you need anything, just call. Cerinthia felt touched. You show care without expecting reward. That is a rare gift. You deserve kindness, Elias replied. The dragon's heart grew warm. She closed her eyes, resting peacefully, knowing she was safe. The forest glowed softly around them as night settled in. The gentle hum of distant energy fields echoed like a lullaby. Stars began to appear above the crystal canopy. Human and dragon rested side by side, two souls from different worlds, bound now by trust, kindness, and a fragile but growing friendship. Neither of them knew that this connection, born quietly in a hidden forest, would soon become the key to facing a much greater challenge, waiting beyond the horizon. The next morning arrived with a soft glow, as sunlight filtered gently through the crystal trees. Dewdrops rested on the leaves, glowing like tiny stars. Birds with shimmering wings moved across the branches, singing calm melodies that echoed through the forest. Everything looked peaceful, but something in the air felt slightly unusual, a quiet hum that did not belong to the forest. Cerinthia opened her eyes slowly. Her injured wing felt a little stronger today, though she still sensed a gentle ache. The biomech support strap held it in place with steady comfort. She stretched her neck, then looked around. Elias was already awake. He stood a short distance away, scanning the sky with a small handheld device. The soft humming sound it made seemed to match the faint hum drifting from above the trees. Cerinthia tilted her head. Is something strange happening? Elias lowered the scanner and walked toward her. His face carried calm focus, but she sensed a hint of concern. There is a repeating signal, he said gently. It wasn't here last night. Cerinthia listened carefully. Her hearing was sharper than any human's. She closed her eyes, focusing on the faint sound drifting from the sky. It was soft at first, like a smooth whistle carried by the wind. But the more she listened, the clearer it became, a rising and falling tone with a gentle rhythm, almost like a machine singing to itself. "It is not from Vesperia," she said quietly. Elias nodded. "That's what I thought." Cerinthia lifted her head higher, sensing the energy behind the signal. It felt organized, steady, and unfamiliar. Not part of the natural flow of the ley winds she knew so well. "It feels like a visitor," she said. "A visitor who is searching for something," Elias added thoughtfully. Cerinthia blinked with mild curiosity, but not fear. "Do you think it is dangerous?" "I don't know," Elias admitted. "The signal is not strong, and it does not show harmful patterns. But it is scanning the land. It seems to be exploring." Cerinthia thought about this. Exploration was not wrong. It was normal for travelers to study new places. But the timing was unusual. She had fallen from the sky only yesterday, because of a strange ripple, and now something foreign was scanning the planet. The two events felt connected in her mind, like pieces of a puzzle. Elias seemed to sense her thoughts. "Maybe it came because of the ripple yesterday, or maybe the ripple came because of it," she said softly. They shared a quiet moment, thinking deeply. Then Elias crouched beside her injured wing. "Let me check your support strap before we decide what to do." She lowered the wing slightly to help him. Elias carefully inspected the strap, adjusting it so the pressure remained gentle and well-balanced. When he finished, she felt more comfortable. "Thank you," she said. "Your hands are careful and wise." Elias smiled warmly. "I've practiced enough to get it right." Cerinthia looked toward the sky again. The signal's soft tone continued, calm yet persistent. "Can you understand it?" she asked. "I'm trying," Elias replied. "It uses a structured pattern, almost like a friendly greeting. Not a warning." "That is good," Cerinthia said. "Then maybe it is not a threat," Elias agreed. "It feels more curious than anything else." A gentle breeze moved through the clearing, stirring the scent of blooming crystal flowers. Cerinthia tried to stand but stopped when her wing gave a small ache. "You should rest more," Elias said softly. "Your wing is healing fast. But you still need time." She settled back down. "I trust your judgment." Elias continued scanning the sky. The signal repeated again, a soft pulse spreading across the horizon. "This pattern reminds me of exploration drones used by a peaceful mechanical species," Elias explained. "They travel from star to star, studying worlds without touching them." Cerinthia nodded. "A watcher from afar." "Exactly. But why would it come here?" she wondered. "Maybe it sensed the same ripple we felt," Elias suggested. "Maybe it is looking for the source." Cerinthia lowered her head, listening again to the soft tone. The signal did not feel harmful. It felt patient, curious, and distant. And yet, something about it still felt connected to yesterday's strange event. After a moment of silence, Cerinthia spoke gently. "I want to see it." Elias looked at her with calm surprise. "See it? You mean the drone?" "Yes," she answered. "If it searches the land, I want to understand why, and I want to know what caused the ripple." Elias considered this. "Your wing isn't ready for flying yet." "I do not need to fly," she said. "I can walk for now." "And the drone signal is not far." Elias hesitated. He wanted to protect her, but he also understood her desire to learn. Dragons were naturally curious and wise, and if the drone truly had peaceful intentions, approaching it could help them understand what was happening. "We can go," Elias said finally, "but slowly and safely." Cerinthia gave him a grateful look. He gathered his equipment and helped gently lift part of her wing so she could rise without strain. She stood carefully, taking a moment to balance herself. Her injured wing rested securely in its support strap. Together, they left the clearing. The forest opened into a long path lined with tall crystal trees. Soft light danced on the ground, guiding their steps. Birds fluttered above them, glowing gently, like floating lanterns. As they walked, Cerinthia noticed how Elias matched his pace to hers, moving neither too fast nor too slow. His presence felt steady, like a calm guide. "You are patient," she said softly. "You're healing," he replied with a warm smile. "Healing takes patience." She appreciated his words. After some time, they reached a wide meadow, where the grass shimmered under the sun. The air here felt different, lighter, filled with a gentle humming sound that grew clearer as they moved forward. "There," Elias said, pointing upward. Hovering above the meadow was a small floating object, smooth, round, and glowing faintly with white light. It moved slowly, almost playfully, making tiny circular patterns in the air. Its movements were calm, curious, and harmless. Cerinthia watched it closely. "It does not feel dangerous." "No," Elias agreed. "It feels like a peaceful visitor." The drone made a soft sound, a gentle tone that repeated in a friendly rhythm. It seemed to notice them because it floated a little closer. But it kept a respectful distance. Cerinthia stepped forward carefully. The drone's light grew slightly brighter, as if acknowledging her presence. "It is greeting us," she said softly. Elias smiled. "It seems so." Cerinthia closed her eyes and reached out with her natural ability to sense energy. Dragons could feel the gentle flow of the world around them. The drone gave off a peaceful, steady energy, calm, respectful, and curious. Then, something unexpected happened. The drone projected a small shape into the air, a floating symbol made of soft white light. It was simple, like a circle inside another circle. The pattern pulsed gently. Elias blinked in surprise. "I know that symbol," he said. "It means seeking information in their communication style." Cerinthia's eyes widened a little. "It is asking us something?" "Yes," Elias said. "It wants to know what caused the ripple." Cerinthia thought quietly. "We felt it, but we do not know its source." The drone made another gentle pulse, showing a slightly different symbol, a curved line that looked like a question. "It is searching for answers," Elias explained. Cerinthia felt a soft worry inside her heart, not fear, but curiosity mixed with concern. If the drone is searching, then maybe something unusual is happening beyond our forest. Elias nodded slowly. "I think you're right. Something new has arrived near Vesperia. Or something is stirring inside it." The drone gently circled above them, waiting calmly. It did not rush them, pressure them, or show any harm. It simply watched, patient and peaceful. Cerinthia stepped closer. "We will help you," she said kindly. "We will seek the truth with you." The drone pulsed softly in response, its light warming the air around them. It seemed pleased, maybe even grateful. Elias looked at Cerinthia with admiration. "You speak with such calm strength." "You show calm strength as well," she replied. Together, they stood beneath the floating drone. A dragon, a human, and a visitor from the sky, united by curiosity, trust, and a shared wish to understand the mystery surrounding Vesperia. And none of them knew yet that this peaceful meeting was the first step toward a much larger journey waiting for them all. The gentle hum of the floating drone filled the open meadow like a soft whisper. Morning sunlight glowed warmly on the crystal grass, and a peaceful breeze moved through the air, touching the leaves like invisible fingers. Elias and Cerinthia stood side by side, watching the drone as it floated gracefully above them. Its light pulsed softly, displaying shapes of glowing symbols, messages, questions, and expressions of curiosity. Even without spoken words, its intention felt calm and friendly. Cerinthia lifted her head, sensing the soft energy in the air. "It wants to continue searching," she said in a thoughtful voice. "It believes something important changed in the sky." Elias nodded. "The signal patterns suggest that the ripple we felt might return. The drone wants to understand it so it can record the information." The drone floated in a small circle, its lights shimmering like a gentle star. It was peaceful and patient, clearly not meant for conflict. It simply wanted knowledge. Much like Elias. For Cerinthia, the energy coming from the drone felt almost playful, like a curious creature from the sky exploring a beautiful world. She turned her gaze toward the horizon. "The ripple came from above," she said. Maybe it was not a force of harm. Maybe it was just a wave passing through space. That's possible, Elias agreed. Many harmless waves travel across the universe. Cerinthia slowly walked forward, her injured wing still supported but feeling stronger than before. She could stretch it without much pain now, though she still avoided lifting it too high. The drone floated beside her, adjusting its height carefully so it would not disturb her. You care about gentle movement, Cerinthia observed. Elias smiled. It recognizes your injury and is being polite. The drone responded with a soft pulse of light, almost like a cheerful nod. Cerinthia laughed quietly. A polite visitor. It makes this world feel even brighter. Elias walked beside her. You know, this is the first time a dragon, a human, and a mechanical visitor have stood together like this. It feels special. It is special. Cerinthia agreed. It shows that peace is possible between very different beings. They reached the center of the meadow, where the energy felt strongest. Cerinthia closed her eyes and breathed deeply. The ley winds brushed around her gently, responding to her presence. She sensed the natural balance of Vesperia and the soft outside energy from the drone mixing together like two calm streams meeting. The world feels quiet again, she said. Yes, Elias agreed softly. The ripple did not return. The drone pulsed lightly, projecting a small symbol that looked like a satisfied smile. Elias interpreted it. It has completed its search pattern. It found no danger. Cerinthia exhaled with relief. Then the world is safe. Yes, Elias said warmly. Vesperia is peaceful again. The drone's lights flickered gently, showing a symbol shaped like two circles, connected by a line, a sign of friendship in its communication style. It is thanking us, Elias said. Cerinthia gently lowered her head toward the drone. You are welcome, she said kindly. May your journey be bright. Cerinthia gently lowered. The drone floated downward slightly, almost as if bowing in return. Then it rose higher into the sky, spinning lightly as if waving goodbye. Soft light trailed behind it as it began to ascend. Cerinthia and Elias watched it climb through the air, glowing like a drifting star until it disappeared beyond the bright morning clouds. For a moment, the meadow was completely silent. Then Cerinthia turned toward Elias. Your world teaches many things, but my world teaches gratitude. Elias met her eyes. And what lesson will you share today? Cerinthia lowered herself gracefully onto her front legs, her wings carefully tucking in. She brought her large head close to Elias, lowering it respectfully. A gesture dragons performed only for someone they deeply trusted. Thank you, she said, her voice soft but strong. With broken wings and grateful eyes, I thank the human who saved me. Elias felt warmth rise in his chest. It was not pride but pure happiness, the quiet joy of helping someone and receiving trust in return. You saved yourself too, he said gently. Your strength guided you. No, Cerinthia replied. Without your help, I would still be lying in pain, unable to move. Without your kindness, I would not have seen this peaceful morning. And without your courage, I would not have understood humans better. She lifted her head slightly, her white scales glowing under the sun. You showed trust when I expected fear. You came close when others would run. You offered care when I least expected it. Elias placed his hand softly against one of her uninjured scales. You showed trust just as much as I did. Trust goes both ways. Cerinthia appreciated his humility. It reminded her of the calm, quiet in the sky just before sunrise. Her wings suddenly fluttered with a sensation, gentle strength returning. She stretched it carefully. The pain was almost gone now. The support strap had held well, and Elias's treatment had worked perfectly. You are healing fast, Elias observed with honest happiness. I feel it too, Cerinthia said. Perhaps I can try a short flight. Elias looked slightly concerned, but not fearful. Only if you feel ready, and only a small lift. I will be careful, she promised. Cerinthia walked slowly to a small rise at the edge of the meadow. She lifted her wings gently. The injured one felt steady, not perfect yet, but strong enough to rise a little. She flapped both wings softly, feeling the familiar pull of the ley winds respond to her once more. Elias stepped back, giving her space. The wind swirled gently around her, supporting her body. She pushed off the ground just slightly, lifting herself a small height into the air. For the first time since her fall, Cerinthia floated in the sky again. Not high, not far, but enough to feel free. Her joy echoed through the air like a soft chime. After a few peaceful seconds, she lowered herself back down, landing elegantly with a quiet grace. Elias clapped lightly, smiling bright. That was perfect. Cerinthia's eyes softened happily. My strength is returning. Soon, I will fly freely again. I'm glad, Elias said. You belong in the sky. She looked at him kindly. And you belong among the wise and gentle. You have a brave heart. He laughed lightly. I'm just trying to do what's right. And you succeeded, she replied. The two walked slowly back toward the clearing where they had first met. The morning had grown brighter, and crystal leaves shimmered warmly as if celebrating their new friendship. Everything felt calm, peaceful, and hopeful. When they reached the clearing, Elias gathered his pack while Cerinthia relaxed on the soft earth. But she did not lie down from weakness this time. She lay down with comfort, knowing she was healing well. Cerinthia turned to him with thoughtful eyes. Elias, when I am fully healed, I want you to ride with me, just once. Elias froze for a moment, stunned. Ride? On a dragon? Yes, Cerinthia said with gentle pride. A dragon invites a rider only when she sees wisdom in someone's heart. Elias placed a hand over his chest, touched deeply. I would be honored. Cerinthia. She gave him a warm look. Then when the sky is calm and my wings are whole, we will fly together. Elias smiled with pure joy. I look forward to it. Above them, the clouds parted slightly, letting a wide beam of sunlight touch the forest floor. The clearing filled with gentle golden light, wrapping them both in a warm glow. A dragon who once fell from the sky, a human who offered kindness, a peaceful visitor from the stars, and a friendship that changed everything quietly, without noise, without conflict, and without fear. Cerinthia rested her head peacefully. Elias sat beside her with quiet trust. Together, they watched the bright sky, a sky that promised new beginnings, new adventures, and a future built on kindness and understanding. And so, with a grateful heart and strong healing wings, the albino dragon thanked the human who saved her. And the story of their friendship became a gentle legend, whispered across the lands of Vesperia for generations to come.